Hi everyone, today we are making potato Vareniki or potato pierogies. They are amazingly good, so keep on watching if you want to know how to make this. To make these pierogies, you're going to want to have 2 cups of flour, and to make sure you sift each cup before putting it into the bowl. After the flour is added, make sure to put some salt in there, about a pinch, and then you also want to put some ground pepper in the mixture as well. Then in the flour, salt, and pepper mixture, you want to create a little well in the middle, a little hole in the middle, and you want to crack your egg into there. So now what you want to do is you want to get about a half a cup of buttermilk, and you want to get about 2 teaspoons of oil and add it to the buttermilk. After you have added the oil to the buttermilk, make sure to mix it well, and now we can mix the egg with the flour, salt, and pepper mixture. After you have mixed the egg and flour mixture well, you are going to add the buttermilk and oil mixture into the flour mixture. Make sure you add the buttermilk and oil mixture into the flour mixture slowly, not to add too much of it because then it'll become too watery and it won't be good enough for pierogies. And to mix it, I ended up using my hand because it is much better than any sort of mixer like KitchenAid. You can feel the texture much better, and you will know how far you need to go before you stop adding more of the buttermilk and oil mixture into your bowl. When the dough is sticking to itself, not falling apart, and is soft, you want to stop mixing it inside the bowl, and you want to put some flour on top of your surface and put the dough on top of there. You want to continue mixing it. Basically, you want to be just pressing on it, giving it a massage, you could say, until it has become smooth and more of a rounder shape. When it's almost at the perfect ball shape, you can just put it in your hands and try and get it into your perfect ball shape with your hands. Just play around with it until it's a perfect shape. When it's ready, you can put it in your bowl and you can cover it up and get your surface ready for rolling out the dough. So now you still want to make sure that your surface is floured, and then you are going to cut your dough in half. We're going to use a half at a time, so make sure to put the other one away, make sure to cover it up. Then we are going to flour a little bit around the rolling pin, and then we are going to roll the dough out until it is thin. When you have it thin, now you're going to use a glass cup and put a little bit of flour around the top, and then you're going to use it to cut out circles from the dough. If you have a circle cutter, you can use it, but I didn't, so I'm using the Ukrainian way, the way that my grandma has always taught me to do. So it's just using a cup and cutting circles out. Now the dough with the holes, the extra, we're just going to put onto the side, and we're going to take the other half and we're going to do the same thing as we did to the first half. Now I'm taking the extras from both sides and just combining them and creating another ball, and then doing the same thing as I did to the other halves. Now for the last part of the extra dough, I just rolled it out and tried to make the best circle that I could. So now you take your filling. Mine's going to be mashed potatoes. These have been made before. What I did is I added more ground pepper to it, and then I mashed it up with a fork. And so now what you do is that you're going to take your piece of dough, your circle of dough, and you're going to put a little bit on the middle. Make sure not to overfill it, because then it'll be too hard to close. So once you put some amount on top, what you want to do is you want to pinch the middles and then go from the left side or from the right side to the middle, and then left side to the middle until you close them. Just keep on pinching them until you reach the middle point from one side, and then you do that same thing from the other point until you get one closed pierogi. When you put the water to boil, make sure to add some salt after it starts boiling. When the water started boiling again after the salt has been added, make sure to slowly and carefully put the pierogies into the water, but make sure to do it slowly and carefully because you can burn yourself and it is not fun. So add one by one or a couple at a time, but make sure to do it very carefully. Then after all of the pierogies have been added into the water, make sure to mix them so they don't get stuck to each other. You want it to boil one more time, so make sure you keep the heat on high until it boils, and once it does boil, you can lower the temperature a little bit. Remember to stir occasionally because you don't want them to stick to each other, but make sure to stir, and they are going to be done soon. It doesn't take a long time to boil. They are going to be done when all of them have risen to the top. Now we're going to take a colander and we're going to dump the pierogies in there to take out all the water from there, and then we're going to toss them up a little bit so they don't stick to each other. Now we're going to add a little bit of oil on the bottom of the pan, or you can put some butter on there. This is so they don't stick to each other, and then you're going to dump the pierogies in there, and then you're going to toss them again so that they don't stick to each other. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. See you soon. Thank you.